Market update on the 19th. So not like that much change since I made the last update. I think we're in a B wave here, and I think that we're just gonna wait. I think it might take a while. This took about 3 hours, so I think that the B wave might last into tomorrow morning. So I'm kind of expecting a little bit of chop in the morning, and then I'm expecting the last 5-6 hours to be a C wave higher. We might complete this tomorrow. It might last into Monday, but if I were to guess, let's say this lasted about 2 hours and 45 minutes, so I would say we're probably going to be done. Actually, you know what? It's probably going to end up being, I think this is going to end up being like this, A, B, wherever this ends up. I think we're going to come up here to like 393.50, and I think we're going to do this, maybe even come back down here to the demand zone like that, and I think we're going to go just like that. That's kind of my thoughts on where I see this going. So I think it probably will carry over into next week. Maybe by like Tuesday or Wednesday we finish this move. That'd be my guess, and we figure out exactly what's going to happen next. Looking for 393.75, start buying some puts. We know this move is impulsive, and we're just looking for a second wave or a B wave. And if I were to guess, just based on this, if I'm guessing strictly on fibs, then you're looking at a 1.61 that's going to take you down to 379.30. Probably end somewhere around, well, let's see. If this ends up being 14 points, this ends up being about 14 points. Let's find out where that fourth wave would be. The fourth wave probably be somewhere around 383. So yeah, I think that based on this, based on these fibs, and based on what I've been projecting for a while, I think we are not gonna go down to 320 this time. I think this is gonna happen. Just based on fibs, based on what I see out of this first wave, I think we're doing this. Probably like that. And then we're gonna go, that's gonna happen. That's my thoughts. If we go to 365, we're probably gonna go up to 430. So that's kind of what I think. So I'm bearish right now, but I'm not overly bearish. So big move could come. We could lose 20, 25 points over the next month, but nothing substantial. That's going to take a while, I think. If we were to do that, it's going to be something like this. It's going to have to be a third wave that goes all the way to probably the 3.61 fib, bounces and goes lower. But I don't see that happening. I would give that about a, I don't know, probably 20% chance, 80-20 maybe, that we're going to see ABC here and then go higher. It just seems like the perfect move, and the fibs are telling me that's the best move. They'll get everyone bearish again. And if I had to guess, I would say this is probably going to be A, B, and then C up higher. Going into, this will probably take into February, and we'll be bottoming around sometime in February, and then we go up into probably like May-ish. And then over the summer, I think that's probably when we're going to start falling apart. This is all speculation. We could just go down to 320 right now, but that's what I see. On this B wave right here, we're probably going to chop around again for a couple hours tomorrow morning, and then we should see a move up higher. I have some calls. I'm expecting a move up here to 393 sometime tomorrow. So that's pretty much it on SPY. We know this is a 5-wave move. We don't know if it's ABC or first wave, so we'll see tomorrow. But this move has been beautiful. We finally get some movement in the market. The VIX finally moves as well, and there should be more to come. So I'm holding on to my puts, I'm adding to them, and I'm ready for a move down to minimum 370, 365. Tesla. Tesla, I think, is in wave 1 of wave 1. I think it can get down to 110 maybe. And then we get a bounce to 124. And then if you do the math here, 110 third wave would take us down to like 93 bounce, and I'm looking for 80 bucks. So it could play out where Tesla finishes its move down to 80 bucks here soon, while SPY only falls about 20 more points. And then Tesla would be ready for a bull run. So I guess the other thing that's possible too is, based on what I said earlier, is that we did bottom right here. This is just a short C wave. If that's the case, then this would still play out like this, A, B, C, because we'd be coming back down to basically the 0.61, 0.78 fib. And this could be a beginning diagonal, and we could look at this like this. And that would just mean that the bear market is over. And we could go to all-time highs again. So there's a few different scenarios. That would make a lot of sense too, because if Tesla bottomed at 80, it could join in on this third wave right here, and Tesla could really ramp up. And maybe Apple bottoms too. I don't know on Apple. We'll look at it here in just a second. But basically, we really shouldn't even be speculating on the long term. Just short term, I'm looking to buy puts on Tesla at 130.54 to 131.92, potentially all the way up to 134. Looking for that next move down. SPY, same thing, looking for 393.75, probably up here to the supply zone at 397. QQQ. Basically what I'm saying is we just need to focus on the smaller time zone and just let it take care of itself. QQQ is hit supply, and it is now basically, it looks like so 1, 2, it looks like it's starting to move down. Probably the same thing as SPY. Let's look on lower time frames. Yeah, look, there's a little bit of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing as SPY. I'm looking for a pullback, and I would be shorting at around like 280, 280-ish, something like that. This would be a good one to play SQQQ and putting a stop above the high. You could do that as well if you don't want to buy puts. But I'm looking for this to come down just like SPY, and I think that there's a good chance that this will lead the way down over the next month or so. We'll see. We'll take it day by day. I don't know. QQQ is looking more bearish than SPY, but then again, SPY could go to 320. We'll see. Apple. Apple is barely up today, actually, and overall, I think that Apple is just it's probably in a B wave right here, just like SPY. So I'm looking for this to be A, B, C, and then look for this to be A, B, C, and then we should get All right, let's go in a little bit farther and see if this is a first wave or not. Yeah, that's ABC right there. So I think that probably get one more down move in Apple, and then it should be ready to go higher. So don't be surprised if they do something like on SPY. Don't be surprised if they do this. On this B wave, let's say it bounces. And it comes all the way down here. So a lot of times, instead of putting my stop right below the very bottom, I'll extend it out to the 1.23 fib here at 386.39, because they'll come down here. The algos will definitely come down here and try to get the stops out before it'll go higher. And so don't be surprised they try to do an expanded flat here. They do that a lot. The algos are like programmed to do that. I feel like, from what I've traded. So don't be surprised they do that. I do that a lot. I put my stops a little bit lower. If I think that it's an ABC pattern, then I definitely do that, because then I know we're going to get a reversal. So don't be surprised if we get that tomorrow based on Apple's chart. I can see Apple come down here to, like, let's see, 136, 138. Probably come down here to like 132, 131, and then go higher. That would mean that SPY could probably have enough momentum to come down here to 186, 187, but still be in an ABC pattern, expanded flat. Okay, and let's go over the dollar maybe for a second and just see where that's at. Dollar's still sitting there. Still nothing to report on the dollar until we get a break one way. I think that we're going to get a pretty good spike, but also I'm kind of leaning towards the scenario that I laid out right here. Just based on SPY's chart, I think that this makes a lot of sense. We bounce, might not go that high, maybe we bounce right here, and then we come down lower, maybe even go lower than this, based on what I think is going to happen on SPY. So if SPY comes down to 365, the dollar bounces to 107, 108, maybe less than that. We can look at fibs. So 108, maybe 106.50. And then we get a zigzag down here to complete this to wherever, I don't know, like maybe like 95 or so. That's definitely possible, and that would allow us to go up to 430 like I talked about. So we're still watching for the dollar to break one way. Nothing really happened that much on it. Let's go over IWM. I haven't looked at this chart in a while, so give me a minute to take a look and just see what's going on. But in Bitcoin, I think I am still pretty bearish on as well. All right, it's not going to work. All right, I guess I'm not going to do IWM. This is internet stop working. Okay, I'm not going to do IWM right now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Maybe it's going to work now. Sometimes the internet down here in Mexico just goes out. I don't think it's gone out, but slow. Here we go. Okay. Really slow. Okay, IWM. So I haven't looked at it, but it definitely bounced in the demand zone. Came back up here, and you know, growth has really been standing out, and this looks like a 5-wave move. I think so. It's similar though to QQQ, but I think it's lagging QQQ a little bit. Just looking at this pattern right here, we can go to the weekly for a general overview. So it looks like this: W, X, Y. Then we get an X wave, and I think that we are in a, let's go to the daily. I think we're in another pattern just like that. So this, we'll say W for right now. We're looking for X and a Y wave down here. So, I mean, kind of just mixed on every front. Like QQQ looks pretty bearish to me. IWM looks pretty bearish to me. SPY potentially 320, but could just come down here at 365. I think this right here, you can see 5-wave move. It looks like it's finishing up A, B, C, but it could go all the way to maybe it won't go that high. Let's see. I think it can go a little bit higher than this. Maybe even go all the way up here to 195. But we'll see. It should bounce with SPY and the rest of the indexes. And then I'm expecting again a Y wave down here, and it's going to be 5-wave move most likely. Target based on how high this goes. Based on the X wave, 202, we got 244, so 42 points lower. This could go all the way to 120. Sounds pretty severe, but it could go all the way down to 120. Let's just see what the 1.61 fib of the first wave, W wave is. That's at 138. So I would say 138 is a pretty good target. Let's get rid of these and then take a look at you know what, now the more that I look at this could actually be the X wave finishing up. That makes more sense for where this bounced. But then again, I don't think it's going to get this high. I think I'm right. I think it's ABC right here, and we'll get another move down. But again, I would draw this probably like that. Let's say it gets to 194-ish. Go a little bit higher. Goes to 194-ish, then potentially we only come down here to like 150, but again, could go all the way down to 120. So we'll see how that goes. I think it's still finishing up the C wave before we get the final move down. I'll watch that more carefully, I think, over the next couple weeks, because I'm in some growth stocks, such as SoFi, and I want to know what's going on as well. And I'll watch and see if this is actually ends up being the overall X wave right here. That would make a lot of sense too, just because then it would have a free move that could just be a 5-wave move down to finish it off. So we'll see over the next couple of days, but just be patient. Let it hit your targets. Let SPY hit its targets. Tesla hit its targets. QQQ, all of them hit their targets before you buy puts or you sell covered calls or whatever you're doing. I sold some puts when we were in the demand zone again. I will sell some covered calls whenever we bounce up to my targets, and I will add to my puts. So it's pretty simple once you break it down and make it like a science. You just look at the chart and turn it into a science. You get the risk reward in the right way, and yeah, you're wrong sometimes, but most of the time you're going to make a lot of money if you hit it right. So that's pretty much it for now. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe for more updates, and hopefully you're making some money on these moves. Get ready, because the next move after this should be a big one, and you want to be in there on that one. You don't want to be on the wrong side. So have a good night. I'll talk with you guys tomorrow.